information, Puneet.
Thank you, Mehul. Many of us have experienced the ill effects of half information. The results can range from funny to disastrous and even lead to a question of life and death. Half information is like that asterisk which is placed on top of a sale which says terms and conditions apply. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests.
Good afternoon.
I also learned the lesson of believing half information the hard way. The story turns out that it was a Saturday afternoon and I was still sleeping in my bed. I woke up to the shrill sound of my telephone. I tried to look for the source of the ringtone from where it was coming to locate the phone. I could not find it. After some looking around, I found that the phone is under my pillow, was sleeping with me throughout the whole night. I got hold of the phone, looked at who was calling. It was Meena Masi. I tried to bolster all my courage and wakefulness to answer the phone in the best manner I could. I was still half asleep. Hello? Hey Puneet, I am in Bangalore right now. I'll be at the railway station at 3 p.m. and my train departs at 3:30 p.m. The story goes like this. My brother had requested me to buy a laptop. He asked for a no operating system laptop, but out of brotherly love, I decided to have the laptop shipped to me rather than to Goa, where my brother was residing. At that time, my Punjabi aunt, Meena Masi, was also residing in Goa, in the Nofra area of the naval officers. I realized I can order the laptop to my place, install the Windows 10 CD on the laptop and hand it over to Meena Masi because she had come to Bangalore for a visit. So, coming back to the call. Okay Masi, I'll be there. I realized it was already 1 p.m. and I had to get ready quickly. I got ready as fast as I could and took the bus number 365 from Managatta Road to Majestic. I realized that my aunt was still saying something, but I was too lazy to listen to the whole story. Nevertheless, I got into the bus and reached the Bangalore Central Railway Station at 3 p.m. I called my aunt again. Hello Masi, where are you? Puneet, I am at the railway station platform number 1 near the inquiry counter. Realizing, I quickly rushed into the railway station towards the inquiry counter on platform number 1. I saw a lady standing in a Patiala suit. I saw my Masi 7 years back, but still I was confident. There she is. I went to her and said, Hello Masi, how are you? She gave me a weird look, to which I understood that I had pointed my focus to the wrong direction. Nevertheless, I withdrew from the place quickly so that things don't go out of hand. I called my Masi again. Hello Masi, where are you? I am at platform number 1 near the inquiry counter. Puneet, Kanakpura railway station is not a big railway station. I am also standing in the right place and I see no male person over there. Gosh, at this time I realized I was standing at the wrong railway station. I had always assumed that a city is to have a central railway station and all the other small stations are just local. I fell prey to my assumption. Realizing that it was now 3:15, I rushed out of the railway station thinking I'll book a taxi, but it would have taken time. So I went to Autowala and said, Anna, can you take me to Kanakpura railway station quickly, please? Sensing my nervousness, he took the advantage and said, Sir, 300 rupees. I looked at him in awe, but my logical mind said, don't bargain at this time. It was like somebody is pointing a gun to my head and asking me to do something without any questions. I sat in, had full confidence on the James Bond style of driving of the autowalas and my life insurance. I had to reach Kanakpura railway station in 15 minutes. The autowala took me there in a jiffy, and before I realized, I was at the Kanakpura railway station. At that time, I called my aunt again. Hello Masi, where are you? I am at the Kanakpura railway station, near the inquiry counter. At this time it was 3:30. Puneet, I am inside the compartment, S2. I quickly asked somebody, where is the S2 compartment? He pointed me to a direction to the right of my side. I started running as fast as I could, like Usain Bolt, holding the laptop on one hand and juggling my hand on the other side. I reached the compartment and so my Masi was there. At that time, Masi said, Puneet, where were you? I was looking for you all around. I was so nervous. I said, Masi, I am sorry. I was at the Bangalore Central Railway Station. To which everybody started laughing. Punjabis, they can hardly keep quiet. I could not bolster any support from the fellow passengers. Still panting, the horn of the train rang and the train started moving. I was so nervous that I forgot to even wish my aunt and my cousins. I quickly bid goodbye and got down from the train, still panting. I realized that I had indeed assumed some things and relied on half information to do my actions. In our daily life, we face such instances where we are in such a hurry that we don't even listen to the full information or even read it. In order to save a few seconds or a few minutes, we end up working more time and then regretting it later. So, fellow Toastmasters and friends, the next time you get inputs from anywhere, make sure that you get the full information and not the half information only to regret later. Thank you so much.